He's the one directing traffic. He is the one they're all afraid of. He's the one that's king slime. He is the most dangerous of the 28, Judge. I implore you not to grant him a bond.
And for those reasons in the aggregate, I'm going to deny bond at this time.
Young Thug's court hearing was very positive, as at the beginning of the hearing, Young Thug was seen having a pleasant conversation with somebody inside of the courtroom. And with the Young Thug trial officially beginning again, it means we're getting answers on why certain YSL members snitched on Young Thug. The famous YSL snitch named Lil Woody will be the reason Young Thug will be released on bond shortly. As a report goes and reads, Brian Steele says Lil Woody was told he would get 25 years in federal prison in a different case if he did not cooperate against Young Thug, aka Snitch. The state refuses to give anything to the defense concerning the federal agent that went after Lil Woody with this. Brian Steele wants to put her on the stand to show the jury that Woody was told to lie about Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug.
Specifically is on the recording, KC, that he will get, that she spoke with the U.S. Attorney's Office, and he is facing, if he does not cooperate against Mr. Williams, he's facing 25 years at a minimum charges in federal court, and there's no parole. I do not have one document, not one note or memoranda provided in discovery concerning ATF agent Cunningham.
As in the original report of Lil Woody snitching in the YSL case, it would read, truth teller YSL Woody popped out on the gram last year after cooperating with police for 3 hours and solving over 50 crimes, telling on YFN Lucci, Young Thug, and others. Ironically, in his IG caption, he claims he didn't cry or cooperate. Now, months ago, this had Young Thug reacting in court when he was told that Lil Woody officially snitched on him. However, now on September 8th, this is a big reason for Young Thug being released. As for YSL members that were tricked into snitching on Young Thug, if this is found to be true, all of the evidence provided by the snitches will not be usable against Young Thug anymore. As Young Thug's team is aware of this, because mysteriously out of nowhere, YSL members are now acting very strange inside a court, hoping for a delay, as a delay would then give Young Thug's lawyers time to create the bond hearing. The first day of the YSL RICO trial being back in the courtroom in September, everyone inside of the courtroom were sent home after altercations rised inside and outside of the courtroom. Then the following day of trial, the weirdest moment would happen inside of the courtroom when a YSL member named Polo was doing very strange things inside, as Young Thug's lawyer can be heard asking the judge to have him removed from the trial.
I'll deal with that accordingly, but your client, I noticed, has been doing the same behavior, and I believe Judge Adams inquired into it as well. So I don't believe that he may be doing just for the purposes of just drawing attention to himself. But of course, sir, as you are well aware, I'm duty bound to consider whatever it is you want to tell me. But your client's nodded in affirmance. He just has some extra movements that the court entirety of this particular proceeding. So you haven't said anything up to this point in time, so I'm going to assume that that's something that you and he are working through.
As this is where things get interesting. Fans would investigate all of the YSL members that are currently in jail. Allegedly, YSL Polo, the man acting strange, is in the exact same cell block as a man named Khalif Adams. Khalif Adams several months ago was caught trying to slip Young Thug something during a court hearing, where a report would share, "My colleague Mark just obtained surveillance video that shows the moment prosecutors accuse Young Thug and his co-defendant Khalif Adams of conduring a hand-to-hand deal inside of the courtroom." Which makes you wonder, did YSL Polo act like this on purpose, or did he end up taking something from Khalif Adams? As it continues, prosecutors say the surveillance shows Adam walking over to where Young Thug is seated with his attorney, and then drops narcotics in his hand. A deputy confronts Young Thug, he turns the item over to authorities. When deputies searched Adams, they found him in possession of narcotics wrapped in plastic and food seasoning to conceal the odor. Adams was then taken to Grady Hospital after he appeared to ingest other items of contraband in an effort to conceal the extent of his crime within the courtroom. Prosecutors then file a motion asking the court to make a finding of fact that court was delayed on January 18, 2023 due to the actions of defendant Williams and defendant Adams. An attorney for Young Thug responded to the allegations that his client was involved in the deal.
The reality is Mr. Williams had nothing to do with what went on in the courtroom on yesterday. One of the co-defendants, on his way to the restroom, attempted to pass something to Mr. Williams, who immediately turned it over to the deputy.
He did not know it was allegedly Percocet?
Did not know. Well, we don't know what it is. Did not know what it was, turned it over to the deputy right away. The deputies took action. The individual who had the contraband, not Mr. Williams, was taken into the back.
As many believe this will affect him being released on bond, which it 100% won't. It did affect his bond originally though several months ago when Gunna was caught snitching on Young Thug, giving information that he's responsible for crime.
You agree or acknowledge that statements are true, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped a vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocarbons and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL to the detriment of my community. YSL again. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
As this was case-breaking, rappers reacted to it as well in a major way, as NBA Youngboy would share that thousands of fans were asking his opinion on the YSL case and Gunna snitching, and he said this.
Don't call me asking me about what I think about the situation or do I think need to. I honestly don't give not one. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
The following day when Gunna was officially released, this would then even make Tekashi 6ix9ine tap in as he hopped on a Clubhouse call with Whack 100 to explain the terrible situation Young Thug is now in due to Gunna snitching.
So me pleading guilty is only making it worse for my man. I'm saying I was there. Yes, I did it. I plead guilty. I am guilty. I am guilty. Anything you said in that courtroom is going to be used against your man, my man. That is over.
Then just a week after that call, he met up with DJ Akademiks to share more thoughts on Gunna snitching.
He just implicated YSL being so now he's home, right? All the people who's locked up, like Jeffrey, like Young Thug, now he can't go with that defense. He can't go with the defense of saying, I'm a record label.
As rappers know that Young Thug's life is in a terrible spot due to Gunna's plea deal, but it's now even became worse for Atlanta rappers, as it has even led into Lil Baby's name getting involved in the RICO case, as what we are witnessing is a complete takeover of the rap industry by the Atlanta DA, as she has now gotten so much information from the snitches in the YSL case, where even DJ Akademiks would report that 4PF and Lil Baby are next on the Atlanta DA's RICO list.
An in-depth investigation. Recent months you've had 2 high-profile racketeering cases. There's going to be more.
Over the next 60 days, you'll see 2 more.
This then got reactions from even Lil Baby himself outside of an airport.
How you doing, Lil Baby? Lil Baby. Well, baby, how's Young Thug doing? I know all the circumstances. Just want to see how they holding up good. Sure. All right. Love what you're doing, man.
As while Gunna took the snitching route, Young Thug is doing something sneaky behind the scenes to help his chances of being released, as currently his lawyers are trying to make changes to the Young Thug name itself in the YSL business. As back on October 27th, Young Thug's Twitter account released a tweet stating, "Jeffrey has reportedly cut ties with Young Thug," as an online lawyer released a statement regarding exactly what this means, so follow along closely. Jeffrey Williams plays the role/character of Young Thug. The character Young Thug is technically a brand, it is not a real person. The brand Young Thug is owned by the record label 300 Entertainment and is used for entertainment purposes only. All lyrics that are used by the character Young Thug relates to no human being, and it's just entertainment for music. As Young Thug is just a character, the actions and views made by him in music lyrics, music videos, and videos online cannot reflect back on the human Jeffrey Williams, as he is being paid to play a character role for 300 Entertainment. Now, I know it sounds confusing, but that's exactly why it's great and why Young Thug has some of the greatest lawyers in the United States. It's similar to as if an actor in a movie commits a crime, he won't be arrested once he leaves the movie set. A majority of the evidence against Young Thug is related and tied to the music that he has created, with many songs having lyrics of him dissing ops, explaining how crimes went down, and so on. Jeffrey Williams had nothing to do with it, he was just playing a character of Young Thug in music. As this is needed due to the charges that are currently going against Young Thug because of the YSL snitching members, as YSL members have been snitching on Young Thug ever since day one of the court case.
He's the one directing traffic. He is the one they're all afraid of. He's the one that's king slime. He is the most dangerous of the 28, Judge. And I implore you not to grant him a bond. He is dangerous. If he gets a burner, Judge, and the court may know this, a lot of the communications that Mr. Williams is on FaceTime, because it's not traceable, it's not trackable. Judge, I will also say that we have taken proffers from fellow from Mr. Williams. Some are on this indictment, some are not. They have stated uniformly that Mr. Williams is dangerous. They are afraid of him, that if they cross him, he will them and their family. And they were very clear about that.
Concerns that this court has is danger to persons and to intimidate other witnesses and obstruct the administration of justice. So and for those reasons in the aggregate, I'm going to deny bond at this time.
With allegedly 15 snitches in the YSL case going against Young Thug, it's clear the prosecutors want him and only him. This was even proven when Gunna was announced to be released inside of the courtroom, as Young Thug's lawyers then argued for his release as well, and the prosecutors were quick to deny it. And it all started with a tweet sent out on Young Thug's Twitter account, which reads, "I'm talking with my roommate and we're wondering if you could swim 100 miles from the middle of the ocean back to shore, at Michael Phelps." What seems like an innocent tweet sent out by his manager by Young Thug's request turned ugly, as prosecutors said Young Thug is tweeting secretive messages through his manager on his Twitter account for crimes to be committed on the outside world, as this is his lawyer defending the matter.
Williams is in a jail outside of Fulton County. There are 0 cell phones in that jail.
That last tweet that was sent out to Michael Phelps is recorded. It's been investigated by the sheriff of that county, and it was a conversation that's recorded between Mr. Williams and a member of his close friendships, that he asked the other person who has control of his Twitter account. That is not a reason to...
Well, this is part of the conversation, Mr. Steele, and you and others are going to need to have with your clients, because this is part of the state's concern. I mean...
That was an innocent... That's nothing bad. Asking somebody to tweet to Michael Phelps, "Can you swim 100 miles in the ocean?" That has nothing to do with intimidation. That ask you, Rico.
Well, if I can communicate through a family member or somebody else, then I can communicate something else.
Everything okay?
Sorry. Yep.
Okay, your family was concerned that something was going on. You're fine, right?
Yes, I'm great. Okay, cool.